right, Shalom. First of all, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rekakodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who taught us this truth and rule well. Peace and salutations to you, Akim, out here pushing this word in sincerity, truth, and in faith. Shalom to the Israelite foreigners, those of our people that very well may look exactly like the other nations, but their heritage through their father's seed line goes back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the Hebrew Israelites. And shalom to the few Aqua, the few sisters that's out here listening in all humility. All right, I have another lesson, and I'm going to entitle it, Remember, O Yahweh, what is come upon us. Remember, O Yahweh, what is come upon us. All right. The us is the Hebrew Israelites. Okay, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans. Okay. And what has come upon us is really slavery. Okay. And us being under the rule of all these other nations, every nation but our own nation. Okay? Because every nation basically knows who we are as a nation. The only nation that don't know as a whole is our own nation. Okay? And they get together and stay together to keep us from being a nation. Okay, let me just get that right quick. I didn't have that plan, but you know how the spirit go. Slot. It's in Psalms. Where is Psalms? This is Psalms 83, and it reads, Keep not thou silence, O Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Hold not thy peace, and be not still, O power. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, Come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. Okay, we hear that name, but it's not associated with the right people. It says, well, they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. And then it goes on to list who they are: the tabernacles of Edom and the Ishmaelites of Moab, and the Hagarenes, Gebal, and Ammon, and Amalek, the Philistines with the inhabitants of Tyre. Ashur is also joined with them. They are hoping the children of Lot. Yeah. Okay, these are all the nations that have come against our nation, which is the nation of Israel. Okay. And they have one consent. They don't want the nation of Israel's name to be mentioned no more with the right people. Okay, they want the name to be mentioned with the imposter, call themselves Israeli, and they're not JEW, but they JEW-ish. Okay, they're not the real people. Ish mean pertaining to or something like. Okay, so let me get back into this. Lamentation, chapter 5. Listen at this. It says, Remember, O Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, what is come upon us. Consider and behold our reproach. Yeah, we are reproached because of the commandments that we were given, and we were told to keep them, and we broke them. And we were told what was going to be the outcome and the consequences and repercussion, okay, if we broke them. And that's what we did. We broke them, and now we're facing that. It says, our inheritance is turned to strangers, our houses to aliens. Yeah, they've taken everything that we have, okay? Our inheritance, which is our birthright. Now they're walking around the earth talking about they're the people of the Most High. And got everybody bending and prostrating themselves to them, taking that their plight, is worthy of the Most High looking at and dealing with all the other nations, because they are the children of the Most High. Supposedly they get to go around the earth and just treat people like crap, okay, all in the name, okay, and they don't use the correct name, okay, they don't believe in Yahweh Shai, all right, and they're supposed to be the people of the Most High, but they don't bring out no scriptures. You'll never see them out on the highways and the byways pushing the Lord's word, okay? It says, we are orphans and fatherless. Our mothers are as widows. We are, okay? We are fatherless. A father is the one who, leads the family and leads the children and make them grow up, to be upstanding citizen, okay, without reproach. But they've, made it a system to whereas our men are not in the household, okay. It says, we have drunken our water for money, our wood is sold unto us. Exactly. We're being made poor, okay. Everything is being sold to us as if we have no right to anything, not even water, okay. They'll see us on the street dying and they'll just let us die, okay, from something simple as water and food. It says, our necks are under persecution, we labor and have no rest. Yeah, we have no rest, but the Lord already told us, arise and depart, because this is not your rest. This is not where we rest as a nation and claim our inheritance, claim the fact that we are Yashar Allah, princes of the power. This is not the place for that. We're going to get that place in the kingdom. This is our suffering zone. It says, we have given the hand to the Egyptians and to the Assyrians to be satisfied with bread up until this day. Okay, we work for them. All right, everywhere you go, I play music a little, and I be going to a lot of events and stuff, and when I see Edom, having their events and their folly, whatever they be doing, it's always Jake, our people, the one that's serving them. Okay, we be the ones, the Southern Kingdom be the ones doing the music, and the physical entertainment, and the Northern Kingdom be doing the serving, okay, and the washing of plates and serving the dinners and picking up the tables and parking the cars, all the domestic work our people be doing for them. Okay, it says our fathers have sinned and are not, and we have borne their iniquities. Exactly, because we are our own fathers coming back, like they're their fathers coming back, bearing your own iniquities. That's not your father's iniquity, that's your iniquity, because the father is not going to pay for the iniquity of the son, nor the son the iniquity of the father. You pay for your own iniquity when you come back in the third and fourth generation, okay, of your seed line. Okay, servants have ruled over us. There is none that doth deliver us out of their hands. Yeah, the servants are the Edomites and all these other nations. They were created to be our servants. You can read that in what is that? 2nd Ezra 6 and 54 on down. Okay, how the world was created for our sake. All right, but we don't have any type of inheritance with the world right now. Okay, why? Because of our sin, man. Because we broke the law, statutes, and commandments. Because of Deuteronomy chapter 28, 15 through 68. It says we got our bread with the pearl of our lives because of the sword of the wilderness. Our skin was black like an oven because of the terrible famine. They ravished the women in Zion and the maids in the cities of Judah. Yeah, they just took out women and you know, even up until this day, our women are like, they're just out here like almost like harlots. Okay, they've taken the goodly things from Esau. Okay, they've taken it in exchange for some type of peace. Okay, they're giving up the box like it ain't nothing, and they look at us and don't want to give us no box. Okay, it said princes are hanged by their hand. The faces of elders were not honored. Yeah, they have no regard for the princes, our kings, our elders, our apostles, our prophets. Okay, because the Most High made them a sword against us. Okay, it's nothing in their own power. They don't have any power. They only have the power that the Most High giveth them. Okay, they might be that sword, but they have to be welded, okay, by the Most High. He swings them however he wants to swing them. Okay, it says they took the young men to grind, and the children fell under wood. Exactly. Okay, our men right now are grinding in prison. Okay, they took the regular slavery and they demolished that, but they started with like a prison system that makes the society rejects Jake and make Jake turn toward criminal acts, and then the criminal acts lead to Jake being put in prison where he's working. He's getting paid what, 25 cents an hour, stuff like that, which is really slavery. So they put us back into captivity. Okay, it says the elders have ceased from the gate, the young men from their music. It says the joy of our heart is ceased, our dance is turned into mourning. Exactly. We are a joyful people, okay, that can make it up on the spot, that have dances and music and singing, praising the Lord, you know. But that has been taken away from us through our captivity. It said the crown is fallen from our head. Woe unto us that we have sinned. Exactly. That's why we sin. And our people don't want to come to the conclusion that we sin, and we have to repent and come back to Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. Okay, so that our sin doesn't create more havoc and more destruction for us. Okay, for this our heart is faint. For these things our eyes are dim. Exactly. For doing that, for going off, we're not the people to go off. We're the people that's supposed to be keeping the law, statutes, and commandments. Okay, we're the people to show the other people how to keep the laws. Okay, like Moses showed us, we're supposed to show them, show the other nations, and eventually we're going to go back to that state. We're going to get to that. It says, because of the mountain of Zion, which is desolate, the foxes walk upon it. Okay, these slick nations. Okay, thou, O Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, remainest forever. Thy throne from generation to generation. Exactly. Wherefore dost thou forget us forever and forsake us so long time? Yeah, the Most High is going to forsake us until he say, okay, that's enough. I'm finished forsaking them. Now I'm going to deal with them as children, as my people, okay, and give them what I promised. One day we're going to get what the Lord promised us, you know. He promised us the kingdom and us rulership, and our rulership rather, to go on and exist for forever, until forever, equaling eternity. Okay? That's who we are as a people. We are an eternal people. All right? It says, turn thou us unto thee, O Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, and we shall be turned. Renew our days as of old. Okay, that's what we want. We want those days before Adam, you know, before he turned to his wife and ate of that fruit. Okay? Before that, we only knew good. We were all good. We only did good. Okay? We want those times to come back, where the Lord writes his laws, statutes, and his commandments on our inward part, and it's going to be impossible for us to sin, and it's going to be impossible for us to die. Okay? It says, but thou hast utterly rejected us. Thou art very wroth against us. Yeah, the Most High is wroth against us, man, because of what we did as a people. When he only gave the law, statutes, and commandments to the Israelites, and we were the ones who broke them, okay? Right in his face, all right? So we're supposed to be punished for that, okay? So, Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, remember, how did it just start off? What has come upon us. Yeah, remember, oh Yahweh, what has come upon us. Remember that we're in a situation because we were given the laws, but we were not able to keep the laws because we were created subject to vanity. It was in us. not to keep the laws perfectly. Okay? That we would go off, that we would learn evil. We would learn evil so we could to gauge it and put it forth toward good and see how it balances it out. Okay? Being able to appreciate good by knowing evil. Okay? So now, O Lord, Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, now it's time for you to remember that we're supposed to be those people that you're going to put good in. Now that we know evil, but you're going to program us to be just good. Okay? And we'll never do evil again. All right? So, I mean, that's it. That's all I wanted to hit. I wanted to hit the fact that the Lord knows, you know, that he put us in this predicament that we're in, and he's going to save us out of it. Okay? We're in it because we sinned against him. We broke his laws, statutes, and commandments that he only gave unto us. But the Edomites took it. Okay, they took it upon themselves, Ronald Reagan, to declare the Bible, you know, the law of the land. So they took up this law. They took up our commandments and statutes and judgments. Okay, and put it upon themselves. Now, the Lord is going to hold them accountable for it. Okay? But he's also going to remember the promise that he made with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Okay? That we were going to remain his people forever. Okay? Nothing will be able to take us away from Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Okay, it said if the moon, the stars, and all those things fell away, then the Most High would consider taking away his people. But those things are there forever, man. Okay? They're not going to fail. They're not going to fall. So is his people forever, even into eternity. All right? So I'm going to end it right there. Lord willing, it was edifying. Okay? I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rekakwadash, double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who taught us his truth. Peace and salutations to you, Akim. Till the next time, Shalom.